I never thought a simple dinner could turn into something so final. It was Thanksgiving. Cold wind outside, warm food inside. Everyone was at my parents' place in Seattle. The table was full, roasted dishes, laughs, stories flying across the room. But me, I just sat there, quiet. No one asked how work was going. No one offered me a plate. It was like I didn't exist. Then, just as my dad lifted the knife to carve the turkey, my sister, Raina, stood up. She had that smile. You. Know the one, all teeth, no heart. And then she said it. We took a vote, you're out of this family. At first I waited for someone to laugh, to say it was a joke, but instead, they clapped actual applause. Even my cousin raised his glass like it was a celebration. My mother laughed like it was the best punchline of the night. My father, he didn't even look up, just stared at the table, and that was it. I wasn't family anymore, I was just removed, like I never belonged. And the worst part? No one tried to stop it. It was supposed to be just another family gathering. The house smelled like, stuffing and cinnamon. People were laughing, passing dishes, and telling the same old stories Amara had heard 100 times before. But no one looked at her. Not one person said, "How are you doing?" Not one glance in her direction. Not even a thank you when she helped slice the mashed potatoes for her niece Ellie. They were all around her. Her sister Raina cracking jokes with cousin Jake. Her mother bragging about her new pie crust trick. Her father scrolling through his phone like nothing around him mattered. And Amara, she just kept her head down, like she always did. She brought the pie. She helped with setup. She even paid for the wine no one remembered she bought. But somehow, she still felt like a ghost, not just ignored, but erased, like she wasn't there to be part of anything, just to make sure everything worked, ignored, unseen, unwanted, and deep down she knew. This wasn't a dinner. This was the last time she would sit at that table and pretend it was home. Just as her father picked up the carving knife to slice the turkey, Raina stood up. The entire room went quiet. She smiled, but not the warm kind. It was the kind of smile you wear when you're holding back a blade. "I think it's time we all be honest," she said. Her voice was sweet, too sweet, like sugar covering something sour. She looked around the table like she was announcing a contest winner. Everyone paused, forks in midair, glasses halfway to lips. Amara felt a tight pull in her chest. Something was wrong. Then came the line. "Last week, we took a vote." Her heart dropped. A vote? She scanned the table. Her dad cleared his throat. Her mom calmly set down her wine glass. Jake leaned in, smiling as if waiting for something entertaining, and then Raina said it. "Amara, you're out of this family." Amara blinked. Was this a joke? But no one laughed. Instead, they clapped. Actual applause. Jake whistled. Her mother laughed like someone had delivered the punchline of the night. Her father didn't look up. He just whispered under his breath, "Maybe this is for the best." That was it. No one came to her defense. No one said, "Wait, that's too far." They had made their decision. And in that moment, Amara felt it land in her chest like a weight. She wasn't just unwanted. She was voted out. Like a guest who had overstayed her welcome. Like a burden they were finally done hiding. But Amara didn't cry, she didn't yell, didn't ask why or how could you. She just sat still for a moment, letting their silence echo around her. Then, slowly, she stood. She reached into her bag and pulled out a thick folder. No emotion, no trembling hands, just quiet purpose. She placed it on the center of the table. "Since I'm not family anymore, I guess you won't need these." The folder landed with a soft thump, but it cut through the room like a knife. Raina's smile flickered. Jake leaned back, confused. Even Mason, Raina's husband, narrowed his eyes. "Go on," Amara said. "Open it." Raina hesitated. Then, flipped the first page. Her face turned pale. Inside the folder were documents, bank transfers, credit card records, hotel invoices, medical bills. Every page was a receipt of something Amara had paid for. silently, without thanks, without ever asking for a single dollar back. There was a $2,800 transfer, sent to Raina right after she claimed Mason lost his job. Another, a $5,600 car loan for her dad when his vehicle broke down. And one more, $2,200 to her mother, who said it was an emergency, then posted vacation photos from a resort the very next day. 6 years' worth of expenses, thousands of dollars, money she never even mentioned, because that's what you do for family, right? Amara didn't look away. No one said anything, because for the first time ever, she wasn't silent. She let the facts do the talking, and they were louder than anything else in the room. Mason, Raina's husband, reached for the folder. His hands moved slow, like he already knew what was coming. He opened it, page 1, then 2, then 3, and the color slowly drained from his face. 3 nights at a hotel, he said out loud. Charged to Amara's card, $3,200. A luxury stay, booked under a name he didn't recognize, Allie Gray. He flipped again, $9,000. To open Raina's nail salon, the same one that closed in 4 months. Another page, $2,500 sent to her mother for an emergency. But Amara had already shown they were vacationing that same weekend. Amara didn't speak. She didn't need to. The folder was doing all the talking. One by one, the pages spread across the table, and every single one said the same thing. She paid. They took. No one remembered. No one could pretend anymore because the numbers were loud, and the truth was finally visible. Then, Amara pulled out her phone. She tapped the screen, opened a voice memo, and pressed play. The sound filled the room. Was Raina's voice, loud, clear, sharp. She always acts like she's better than us. Cut her money and watch her fall apart. No one loves her, no one misses her. In the background, her mother's laughter. The room went completely still. No one blinked. No one reached for a napkin. No one said her name, because they all heard it, exactly how they talked when she wasn't there. Raina's face went stiff. Her voice came out tense. You were spying on me. Amara looked at her. Calm. No. You sent that voice note to someone else by mistake. They forwarded it to me. She paused, and I kept it, because I remember. I always remember. Now the silence in the room wasn't awkward. It was heavy, guilt-heavy, truth-heavy, the kind of silence that shows up when there's nothing left to deny. They weren't just caught. They were finally being seen. Amara reached into her bag again. This time, she pulled out 2 white envelopes. She looked at her father. This one's for you. She handed the other to her mom. Her father opened his. Inside was a clear breakdown. Hospital bills, rehab, medications, every expense from the time he had fallen, each one paid by Amara, each one highlighted, dated, and itemized. His hand trembled, but he said nothing. Then she turned to her mother. Remember the $2,200 I sent you? She asked. Her mother nodded slowly. You said it was for debt. But you were at a spa resort the same week. Her mom opened her mouth, but Amara lifted her hand. Don't. I'm not here for excuses. Then she looked straight at her father, right in the eyes. You saw all of it, heard all of it. And still, you never defended me. He looked down, staring at the table like the truth written on it was too heavy to hold. And Amara stood there, no longer begging for love, just holding the mirror up so they could finally see themselves. Joel, Raina's husband, picked up a paper tucked near the back of the folder. He looked down at it and froze. A hotel bill, 3 nights, 2 guests, under the name Allie Gray. He kept reading, then Amara handed him a screenshot. An Instagram post, a photo, balcony view, matching towels, 2 champagne glasses. It wasn't just a hotel stay, it was evidence. Joel turned to Raina. His voice was tight. Who is this? Why is her name on our credit card? Raina looked nervous. Her voice cracked. Just a classmate, a girl's trip. But Amara stepped forward and handed Joel something else. A message. From Raina. Joel won't find out. He's too busy. You're the one I want next to me." Joel's hands began to shake. "You lied to me," he said. "And you mocked the only person who stood by you." Raina tried to speak, but her voice failed, because the truth had already landed. And this time, there was no walking it back. Joel didn't yell. He didn't need to. The silence said enough. He was done. Amara stood at the edge of the table, still calm and absolutely clear. She reached for her folder and closed it. "I'm done," she said. She slipped on her coat. No tears, no shouting, no goodbye. She looked around the room, just once, and for the first time, she saw it for what it really was. Not a home, not a family, just a room full of people who had finally shown her their true faces. No one spoke, no one moved, because deep down they all knew. She had every right to leave, and she did, head high. Back straight, carrying nothing but her truth. But just before she stepped out the door, Amara paused. She reached into her bag one last time, pulled out a cream-colored envelope, walked back to the table, and placed it in the center. "So you'll never need to call me again." "Not for anything." Joel picked it up and opened it. Inside, official legal papers, signed, stamped, final, power of attorney, canceled, emergency contact, removed, financial. Co-signer, deleted. Her mother stood up, panicked. "You can't do this, your family." But Amara didn't flinch. She looked her mother in the eye. "You all voted, remember?" Her voice didn't tremble, but theirs did. Because this time, she wasn't bluffing. She wasn't just walking away emotionally. She was cutting the cord. Legally. And for the first time ever, they realized she wasn't coming back. The next morning, Amara's phone buzzed, a message from her mother. "You'll always be my daughter. Please talk to us. We can fix this." Then came a voicemail from her father. "Don't let this little thing tear the family apart. Come back, let's talk like adults," but not once. Not once did he say, "I'm sorry." Not once did he mention the vote. Not once did he say she was wronged. Then came a message from Jake, her cousin. "I know things got out of hand, but could you help cover rent just for a few months?" And just like that, the pattern was back. Not love, not regret, just more taking. They didn't miss Amara. They missed what she gave, and her response. Nothing. Not a word, not a text, not even a read receipt. For the first time, she chose silence, and that silence became her shield. A few days later, a letter arrived in the mail. No return address. But the handwriting was familiar. It was her mother's. 3 pages, blue ink, neat cursive. Page 1, full of apologies. Page 2, life updates. Joel moved out. Raina was struggling. Dad's back pain was acting up again. Then came page 3, the real reason. "The house might go into foreclosure," her mother wrote. "The bank needs a co-signer. If you help, we'll put the house in your name." It was wrapped as a gift, but smelled like a deal. Amara folded the letter. She stood up, walked to the kitchen, and dropped it straight into the trash. No anger. No sadness. Just clarity. They didn't want her back. They wanted the old Amara, the one who said yes before asking why. But that version? She was gone. Then, another box. No name, no return address. Inside, a candle. The exact scent Amara used, to light during holidays, and taped to it a small note. Crayon, misspelled words, pure heart. "Do you still use candles? I miss your pancakes. I miss you." It was from Ellie, the only one Amara had loved without questions. Her hands trembled. Her chest tightened. She sat there for an hour, just staring at it, but she knew. If she went back, even for Ellie, she'd be pulled back into the same cycle. The giving, the silence, the blame. So she packed the candle back in a box and slipped in a small note of her own. "I still use candles, but I don't live in the dark anymore." She mailed it back. With love, but with boundaries. Amara packed her things and left. She moved to a small lakeside town in Washington. No one knew her name. No one asked for help. No one expected her to fix anything. Her apartment was small but warm wooden beams, morning sunlight pouring in through wide windows. Quiet streets where no one shouted her name. She found a part-time job, helping women manage their finances. No pressure, no fake emergencies, just real people, with real stories. She started cooking, not for a crowd, not out of guilt, just for herself. She ran around the lake every morning, breathed in the fresh air, felt her heart settle for the first time in years, and at night she lit candles, not to cover pain, not to pretend, just because she liked the smell of peace. And for the first time in years, Amara felt something she hadn't felt in a very, very long time. Free. One afternoon, Amara ran into Eva, an old college friend she hadn't seen in, years. "I thought you disappeared," Eva said with a laugh. Amara smiled. "I kind of did." They caught up over tea, they talked, they laughed. No pressure, no guilt, no hidden motives. Just two people reconnecting, so without expectations. And that day, Amara did something simple, but powerful. She opened her phone, went to her emergency contact list, and she deleted every name that once made her feel small. No more mom, no more cousin, no more weight. And then, she typed one name, Eva. Not because Eva needed her, but because Amara knew, if she ever really needed someone, Eva would show up. One quiet weekend, Amara opened a drawer and found them. The old letters, she didn't burn them. She didn't cry over them. She didn't even reread them. She just picked them up and placed them gently into a small tin box, then slid it onto the back of a shelf. Not to remember the pain, but to remember why she left. She didn't need revenge. She didn't need a family member to say, "You were right." She just needed something simple. Peace, and now, finally, she had it. A few weeks later, Amara got an invitation, a local women's seminar. Small, simple, no stage lights. No cameras, just 30 women in folding chairs, some holding babies, some holding notebooks, and Amara standing at the front. She took a deep breath. And then, she told her story. Not with bitterness, not with blame, just with truth. She talked about the years she spent giving, the birthdays they forgot, the money she sent at midnight, the quiet way they counted on her, but never stood by her. She told them about the vote, the clapping, and the moment she finally chose to walk away. The room was quiet. Then, a young woman in the back stood up, tears in her eyes. I thought, I was the only one. That moment hit Amara hard, because she realized something. Her story helped, not because it had a happy ending, but because it was real, because someone out there needed to hear, it's okay to leave, even if they're family. That night, Amara walked home. She stopped by the bakery and picked up a slice of apple pie. Back in her apartment, she lit a candle, opened the window, and sat by the glass, holding a warm cup in her hands. No buzzing phone, no guilt-filled messages, no cousin asking for just one more thing, just silence, and something even better, peace. She looked out at the night sky, and the thought came quietly, gently. She didn't lose her family. She just stopped calling users by that name, and for the first time, she could finally breathe.